So here we've got 5 common running issues that you might get and where they are, where you might be experiencing pain on the body. And I've got them on the diagram here circled. You probably can't see the circles that well, but I'll point them out to you anyway. This is a right leg, so as it's coming out of me, okay? So we've got the front of the leg here. Here is the right leg, but the back of the leg. So I'll go through from the front to the back, okay? First and foremost, we've got IT band syndrome, which we've covered in a previous video, and that's going to be pain down the side of the thigh here, the upper leg, from around about the hip level up here, running down through this region here. The next one is going to be runner's knee, commonly called jumper's knee, in younger children, particularly active teenagers. You might find it resulting in osseous laters of the knee, but it's down here on the front of the kneecap, or around the knee joint, and that's excessive pressure going through the quads tendons and then pulling between the patella and then the lower leg right down here, okay? Particularly aggravated by the act of running, and you're gonna get that pain on the front of the knee. Watch out if you've got this between for going for a long run and then sitting in a chair with your legs at right angles for a long period of time, because that's just going to pull that patella straight back onto the front of your upper leg, the femur, and that's not going to be a pleasant experience when you go and stand up, so try and avoid that. Next one is going to be shin splints, which can then progress onto compartment syndrome and or tibial plateau fractures as well. And this is in the lower leg. It's on the inside of the lower leg, on the front of the spine of the tibia. That's the bony bit on the front of your shin. The reason that we wear shin pads when we're playing football, because it hurts a lot. And that's your calves. As they wrap round the front on the inside, they plug into that bone there. And repetitive stress and pulling, you literally pull the skin off the bone. It causes a lot of pain in runners on that inside of the shin there. Over time, if it's progressive and not dealt with, it can progress on to things like compartment syndrome, which are a little bit more serious. You sometimes see the consequences where you have to actually open the fascia out, which is a surgical intervention, and that's going to be in this region here. Then we move on to the back of the leg. So we've got the Achilles tendon. We covered this in a previous video. So this is Achilles tendonitis. Ironically, those last two that we've covered, the Achilles tendonitis and then the shin splints, etc., those all are really quite closely related. It's the same sort of area that's being affected, or group of muscles and tendons that are being affected. You're going to find it very difficult. Walking is going to give you pain in the back of the heel. It can be rather uncomfortable when you've got the Achilles tendonitis. Do not make the mistake of just trying to stretch it out more. That will not work. Do work onto the muscle higher up. This is the back of the thigh here. These are the two bellies of the calf muscle, the gastrocnemius muscles, and then underneath there we've got soleus. Do some work into here, even though the pain is a little bit lower down in the actual Achilles tendon itself on the back of the heel. That will be tremendously of more benefit to you than actually doing the work down into that Achilles. Put some ice on here, 5 minutes or so, a couple times a day. That'll help a lot more. Finally, we get to the hamstring problem. It's basically pain on the back of your thigh. You might have strained this during a particularly rigorous run, or you haven't warmed up or cooled down properly, and that's going to give you that pain, that muscular pain on the back of the thigh. And when you're trying to drive through the back of the back leg, as you put your foot, and it drives your body forwards by driving backwards, that's going to give you a lot of pain in the hamstring. They're very, very proprioceptive, often a little bit weaker than the quads on the front, balance-wise. So that's the last place you're likely to get an injury.